The Pacific Ocean hides many mysteries and secrets in its waters. One of them is the island of dolls, lost among the turbulent waves and dangerous reefs. On this island, dolls live as if they are animated. They watch every step, every movement of those who dare to set foot on their land. Legends say that these dolls possess the spirits of the island's former inhabitants, and each of them has its own story. Young explorer Anna had always dreamed of finding unexplored places and unraveling their secrets. She grew up in a small seaside town, listening to the old folk stories about the mysterious island of dolls. Her grandfather, an old sailor, often mentioned this island in his tales, sparking her interest in travel and adventure. One day, Anna decided it was time to fulfill her long-standing dream. She assembled a team of like-minded adventurers and set off on a small ship called the Pilgrim. The team included that these dolls possess the spirits of the island's former inhabitants, and each of them has its own story. Jack, an experienced navigator, and an old friend of Anna's. Maria, a biologist interested in studying the island's flora and fauna. Thomas, a photographer who wanted to capture the island's mysterious landscapes. Alex, a historian studying legends and myths of various cultures. The journey was long and arduous. The team faced storms, unpredictable currents, and ship breakdowns. But finally, on the horizon, they saw the outlines of the island, which seemed uninhabited and mysterious. As the Pilgrim approached the island, the team noticed it was covered with dense jungles and towering palms. Anna and her companions landed on the shore, carefully surveying their surroundings. Strange figures scattered across the shore immediately caught their eye. These were dolls, old, battered, some nearly destroyed by time and weather. "This is just creepy," Jack said, examining one of the dolls. "They look like they're watching us." Maria wasted no time in collecting plant samples, while Thomas began photographing the surrounding nature and the strange figures. Alex, armed with his notes, delved into studying the legends about the island that he had brought with him. Legends say that these dolls are not here by chance. Alex said, "Some claim they protect the island from unwanted guests, while others believe they contain the souls of the deceased." Legends say that these dolls are not here by chance, Alex said. "Some claim they protect the island from unwanted guests, while others believe they contain the souls of the deceased." The next day, the team decided to venture deeper into the jungle to further explore the island. The path was difficult, and the dense vegetation made progress challenging. The farther they went, the more dolls they encountered along the way. Some were hung on trees, others sat among the roots or on rocks. Suddenly, Maria heard a strange rustling. She stopped and listened carefully. The rustling repeated, and soon the team saw something astonishing. A shadow flitted among the trees, clearly not belonging to a human. "It must be the locals or wild animals," Thomas suggested. But the shadow disappeared as quickly as it had appeared, and the team decided to continue their journey. After a few hours, they came across an old hut, almost destroyed and overgrown with moss and vines. Inside the hut were many dolls, arranged in various poses. Alex began exploring the hut, and soon discovered an old book covered in dust. Its pages contained stories and drawings depicting the island's past. According to the book, a tribe once lived on the island, believing that dolls could hold the souls of the deceased and protect the living from evil. "This is incredible," Alex exclaimed. "The book describes rituals performed on the island. We might learn more about the nature of these dolls and their significance." Anna decided that they needed to gather as much information and evidence as possible to confirm or debunk the legends. The team began searching for other traces of the island's ancient inhabitants. As night fell, the team returned to their camp on the shore. They lit a fire and prepared to sleep. The night on the island was filled with strange sounds. Rustling, groaning, and whispers seemed to come from everywhere. Thomas, sitting by the fire, tried to calm himself, but suddenly heard a distinct voice calling his name. "Thomas. Thomas," the voice whispered. Thomas looked around but saw no one. He decided it was just his imagination and fatigue playing tricks on him, and tried to sleep. But soon the voice sounded again, this time louder and clearer. Thomas stood up and followed the sound. In the darkness, he saw a doll standing on a rock. The doll looked older than the others and was covered in strange symbols. Thomas approached it and, not understanding why, reached out to touch the doll. When Thomas touched the doll, he felt a strong chill run through his body. Suddenly, his mind was filled with strange visions. He saw the island's ancient inhabitants, their rituals and sacrifices. Thomas realized that the doll was a key to unlocking the island's mystery. "It's a curse," Thomas whispered, pulling his hand back. "They used dolls to trap the souls of the dead." The team, alarmed by his cry, rushed to help. Anna and the others listened intently as Thomas described his visions and decided to conduct a detailed investigation of the found doll and the hut in the morning. The next day, the team returned to the hut with renewed energy. They began meticulously examining every detail, hoping to find the key to the mystery. Alex continued working with the book, translating and analyzing the ancient texts. "It talks about a great ritual that was performed once a century," Alex explained. "It was meant to protect the tribe from evil spirits and preserve their souls on the island." Maria found an old chest in the corner of the hut, containing various artifacts and amulets. Among them was a strange figurine made of an unknown material. This could be an important part of the ritual, Maria suggested. The next day, the team returned to the hut with renewed energy. They began meticulously examining every detail, hoping to find the key to the mystery. Alex continued working with the book, translating and analyzing the ancient texts. "It talks about a great ritual that was performed once a century," Alex explained. "It was meant to protect the tribe from evil spirits and preserve their souls on the island." Maria found an old chest in the corner of the hut, containing various artifacts and amulets. Among them was a strange figurine made of an unknown material. "This could be an important part of the ritual," Maria suggested. In the evening, the team gathered around the fire again, discussing their findings. Suddenly, they felt a strong wind rising out of nowhere. The fire flickered, and strange figures briefly appeared among the shadows. "These are the spirits," Alex whispered. "We must be careful." Anna felt a cold shiver run down her spine, as if something or someone had passed through her. She realized that the legends were not just stories, and that they had indeed encountered something inexplicable. Deciding they needed to try performing the ritual described in the book, the team began preparing for it. They gathered the necessary artifacts, placed them around the fire, and started following the instructions from the book. "We must be very precise," Alex warned. "Any mistake could have serious consequences." Anna and her team, following the ancient rituals, began chanting incantations and placing the artifacts in specially prepared spots. Suddenly, the air around them began to shimmer, and from the darkness,